Welcome, 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 everyone. It's Wednesday. And as you learned from my show, the last show I had, I'm doing this show every other Wednesday. So it's the right Wednesday for Wait With Me. And I'm your host, Jill Cox Cordova. Hello, 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 everyone. The Fireside app has changed how I can see who's in the audience. I think Connie is here. Is that correct, sweetheart?
Yes, we have Connie here, and we have me here, we have you here, and we have Waitbot is
Woohoo!
here.
Woohoo! Well, thank you for joining, Connie. And for the rest of you, I assume you're watching
A-
this in.
and Daisy just popped in.
Hey, Daisy! Glad that you're here. I was just saying hi to everyone and thank you for joining me either here live with me or in the replay. So I'm always happy when people show up because then I can talk to people. I feel like I'm really talking to you. So, as you know, last week I did not have a show. In fact, every other week I will not have a show. And every other week I will have a show. See how that works? So, let me tell you about my week. Tony and I just last evening returned from our trip to the Miami area. So we were in Flagler Beach, we were in Pompano Beach, we were in Fort Lauderdale, and we got to see a dear friend of mine that I've known since, the 90s? I've known her since the 90s. We worked together in the 90s. And we saw them 7 years ago when they got married, she and her husband. And so we spent time with them and we went to an art exhibit, an artist talk, because the husband of the friends that we met up with was the photographer, and the wife, my friend, is the videographer and producer. And they did a whole exhibit about Black love and all that, that involves people, right? People of, of every designation or label that they may self-identify with. It was beautiful, 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 beautiful exhibit. There were other artists there as well. In fact, our two friends were on the panel, and they talked about their art and the inspiration for their art. And it was just beautiful. And there was even a burlesque dancer. Like, how many artist talks do you go to, and then it ends with a burlesque dancer, right? So it was really fun. That was the highlight of our trip. And then before that was our last night there, in fact. And before that, Tony and I we finally started walking together on the beach in Florida. So we walked along the ocean just about every day except the last day that we were there. And we ate some seafood and we just hung out and enjoyed the weather and the ocean breeze and just being together. It was a lot of fun. And funny that Tony had to be the one to talk me into taking a vacation. Those of you in the audience, you know me very well, and you know I'm always for a vacation. So that let me know that I really have to get back to that person and not let work be everything all the time. So I really needed that time away. I also, for Daisy, I drank, I had two drinks the whole time. Well, no, really three, four. Okay, four drinks while I was there. I had two glasses of wine, a German white wine. I had a mango daiquiri, and I meant to, okay, maybe I had five drinks. I meant to only have one, but the bartender didn't understand that I wanted something different the next time, so she gave me, I had two of those, two frozen mango daiquiris, and then I had a pina colada to start everything off. So I've been drinking and I've been eating and I've been walking. In fact, my body every day was like, what is happening? What are we doing? So my body didn't always like that I was walking in sand, where I had to like do some heavy lifting with my legs. So my body didn't like it, but I did it anyway. so that one day the body will understand that this is what we're doing now. So, by all accounts and in every way, I had a wonderful, wonderful 5 days away and in the sun and getting my vitamin D and just enjoying myself. And I even got to read. I finished reading a book that I was reading for pleasure, so that was great fun too. So had a great time. So that's been my week. So I'll now get to my first segment called "This is the Deal."
This is the deal. This is the deal.
Did I call that segment "This is my deal"? If I did, that was a Freudian slip.
I think you introduced
Did,
it
did I
correctly.
say it correctly?
Yes, I believe you did.
Okay. Tonight's deal is all about the double standards when it comes to weight loss and weight gain and how people perceive you if you're overweight or even underweight. So, most of you know that most of my career has been spent in TV news. I no longer do that, but when I did it, I understood that a person has to look a certain way to succeed if they're on the air. So, for example, I remember back in the 90s, a reporter, a man reporter, he was in his 20s, but he thought he would get ahead if he dyed his hair gray. And he did. He streaked his hair gray. And guess what? He is like at the top. He just shot up. His whole career just shot up. And I won't, if I tell you what he's doing now, you'll know who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say his name. But that worked for him to look older. It does not work for women to do that when they're on the air, unless they were Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters got by with that because she was a pioneer. But other people, like there's an expiration date, it seems, to be on the air, and if you look a certain age or if you are a certain age. So the same goes for weight. I know that and I'm not going to say names, but in the last year, 2 years, there was a curvy anchor woman who suddenly disappeared from the air because everyone started talking about her body positivity and how beautiful she is, and she's beautiful. And because she also had the type of show, they hired her to do this, to speak her mind about certain events. The combination didn't work, and suddenly she disappeared from the air. That would not happen to a man who might have been her same size. I've heard many news directors tell women to that maybe they want to lose a certain amount of weight, or maybe they want their hair to look a certain way. They had to get their hair approved, except for Monica Pearson, who she's an Atlanta legend. She told them she was going to wear her hair whatever way she wanted, and to prove the point, every week her hair often changed, and it still does. She's not on the she doesn't have a regular news job now. She still interviews people on air, but when she feels like it, basically. And she still changes her hair all the time. So, but most people had to get approval for their hair. Most women had to get approval for their hair. So I want to talk about how, it seems that even when women are beautiful, and I don't think one has to be a certain weight or not to be beautiful. So, for example, Michelle Obama and her wonderful arms. We all loved her arms. But then there came the caricatures and news cartoons, that made her look like a man, as though women can't have muscular, well toned, beautiful arms like she does. So, and then I know there are men that are really skinny, and there's praised for that, But if women are, then people start wondering if they have some type of eating disorder or things like that. So there's so many double standards. I remember a few years, well, it's been a long time. It was still when I worked in TV news. I was asked to be part of a photo shoot for another person. The article in the magazine was about another person, and but because the two of us had gone to the same school and we were working at the same place, the magazine thought it would be a great idea to have us both in the photo shoot. So I came to the photo shoot. Pictures were taken. I even saw some of the pictures. But I get a call about 3 days later from the magazine editor saying I was being cut out of the photos. My name would be mentioned in the article that we both worked there, but the readers would not be able to see me because he thought the pictures of me were all, and the photographer was with us a good hour. He thought all the photos with me in it were bad. And that he was like, I promise you, you won't like them. You won't like them. And I said, well, you're the editor. I'm not going to argue with you on that, but can I see the pictures? And when he sent me the pictures, guess what? It looks like what I look like. The photos didn't look any different than I look. So it sent a strong message to me that he doesn't think, even if he had seen me in person, he wouldn't have thought I was beautiful or even photogenic enough to appear in a little small picture in a magazine. So I've often been mindful of double standards in terms of what is beauty? What is beauty? It's in the eye of the beholder, right? Right? And for me, someone is beautiful from the inside out. Because if I really try, as Tony says all the time, he loves everybody. He's the man about love. And I'm striving to be the the woman about love. I'm still getting there. I'm still learning to love everybody, right? Or have some love for everyone, like we're supposed to. But with the people I genuinely do love, I think they're the most beautiful people in the world. You all who are in my audience tonight, you are the most beautiful people I know. You are. You're all beautiful. And yes, you're beautiful on the outside too. If no one ever got to meet you, but maybe they saw you from afar, I still think that they would find you beautiful without you saying a word. But I know you all, and I know you're beautiful inside and out. And so to me, that's where beauty comes from. So I guess I'm turning this segment into a rant about the double standards of beauty. Like, okay, not everyone has to find, we don't all have to find each other beautiful or pretty or even attractive. But I don't think that we should have a set of standards for this group of people and a different set of standards for the same thing for another group of people. That's one of my many pet peeves. I'm finding I have a lot of pet peeves these days. As I get older, I add more pet peeves. And I guess that means I add more rants, but that is the deal. So that is the deal for this week.
Yes, and Connie has a comment.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that you've always been very photogenic.
Aw, thank you, Connie.
And you are beautiful inside and out with
Thank you.
hearts.
Aw, thank you, Connie. I think the same of you too. Like anybody who's ever seen Connie knows she genuinely looks like a superstar. So the same back to you, Connie. All right. Any other comments? Because again, the app has changed since the last time I was on it, so I can't see things the way I normally do anymore. So if there's anything else out there, Tony, that I'm missing?
No, we have it all covered.
Okay. Well, normally for segment number 2, I would weigh myself and tell you my measurements. But this week, the scale does not work. We checked the scale and the scale doesn't work. I suspect with all the drinking and the eating that I did that I probably gained some, but then I also was more active than I normally am, so maybe not. I don't know. But I won't be able to do that tonight in front of you. I know that's Tony's favorite segment, but tonight we're not having that segment. So, but I did write down the last time I had this show, I did write down the weight. So the next time you see me, which again won't be next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, the number to beat will be 156.4. So that I will try to beat that. So hopefully the scale will be working then. All right, so let me move on to segment number 3.
Okay, it's your turn to share.
As you know, this is the segment. Oh boy, that came up differently. Okay.
Yes, it did.
Wow, the app is really different. Okay, so Daisy, I am bringing you up, and it came to me in a completely different new format. And I see you're on the stage. I know that you don't normally come to video. I accidentally hit video. So if you want to come to video, that's fine. Or you could stick with just speaking. Is that cool?
I think I'll stick with just speaking.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you actually did that, because now I can see that if I hit video, you still have the option to be audio only. So I'm glad that you did that. Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you had a good trip. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself and got to relax some. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. And I had those drinks for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So how are things for you?
Things have been very busy, but this is the week where it will start to slow down until October, mid-October. So
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a good break.
Yeah. So I didn't weigh myself on Sunday because I knew it wasn't going to be good news. I just felt it. I just really kind of felt bloated, and so I thought, nah, I'm not going to weigh myself today. So I'll weigh myself on Sunday, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that we're doing?
Well, I did try this week. I have been doing burpees sporadically, but I've been
Kudos
so
to you.
busy.
I always have to applaud that, because that's just burpees are like the hardest thing to me ever.
I don't mind them. It's been so busy with work that I haven't had a chance to do them like on the hour, like I sometimes get in the groove and do. But I have been doing some when I can. When I, take a break to go get coffee, I'll stop and do 10. But, just to get myself moving. So that's about it.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That
I'm
sounds
getting nervous.
great.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous because my sister's coming into town, and that'll mean eating more and eating out more, ordering more food, probably. But I'll see if I can hold on.
I'm sure you can. And even it seems like anytime you have visitors come into town, or you go visit them, seems like you balance it out. Like you may get choices here, you might indulge here, but you make good choices there. It seems like you've always balanced it out.
Well, I try. Sometimes sometimes it works better than others, but I do try. So we'll see. I'm going to go to the state fair, and I know that's going to be a bad day. So,
but you'll do a lot of walking.
That's true.
And is it really hot there?
Today it got up to like mid 80s. It's going to get hotter toward the weekend, and then cool back down again. So it hasn't been too bad. We've been able to relax and sit outside and have sangria,
Well,
which
that's
is
good.
not the best. The juices, I think, are what gets me. And I think that I had a little too much sangria last week. But I needed it.
Well, and you deserved it too, because as you know, I've been celebrating you. So
yes, thank you.
You deserved it.
I was celebrating a little too much, a little bit too much, but yeah. So trying to figure out when I can come and see you, of course.
Really?
Looking at next year, so I'm, trying to figure out what I can do
Oh, that'll be
time wise.
great. That'll be
Yeah,
fun. I will, well, you're always welcome, but I always have a good time when you're here.
I do too, and it's been too long. I thought it's been coming up on like 4 years now, maybe.
Yes, yeah. So in fact, the last time I was in Kentucky, I was like, how is it that I'm seeing these people like every other year and I haven't seen you?
Exactly. So I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I need to rectify that. So I need to figure out my schedule for the next year. I don't know about, you probably won't be able to go to AWP, but I know I'm going there. And I thought, that's in February this year. So I was thinking, maybe April. We'll see how your April looks.
It's usually pretty open. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking so far.
Yay! I'm very excited about that. That makes me happy.
Yay. I'm glad you're happy because I was like, I hate to be just a crasher.
Oh no, no. You always have an open invitation. And you're right. It has been way, way, way too long. So not
Yes.
crashing at all. You're very welcome.
Okay, good. All right. Well, today is the last day of my online class, so I'm gonna have to duck out and finish getting ready for that. But I just wanted to say I'm glad you had a good trip,
Thank
and
you.
I
And
think
thank you for stopping by. And I hope tonight's class goes well. I'm sure it will.
oh, thank
I'm
you. I
sure they'll
appreciate
give
that.
you wonderful evaluations.
I hope so. I
I
hope
know they
so.
will.
Thanks. All right. So I will see you in 2 weeks for sure.
Okay. All right. Have a good
All
one.
right. All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
Take care now.
Okay. Bye.
And Jill, we have Faraz. Remember our
Oh,
friend
hi,
Faraz? So
yes.
Faraz is here, and Emily is here.
Hi, Faraz and Emily. Thank you for joining me tonight. Earlier I was talking about double standards and talking about how, beautiful women with fabulous arms like Michelle Obama can be made fun of instead of, you know, being, respect. That she can, which that she works out and that she's toned like that, and that there are just so many double standards when it comes to weight and images on film and in TV news and uh, in my case a magazine photo and things like that. So I've just been ranting about double standards.
Yeah, and now that this seems to be a show about everything, um,
I just want
Connie,
to talk.
Connie,
I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so I just talking.
Connie had another comment, and she said there's a cold front in Texas.
Cold front.
Yes, it's only 99 degrees now instead of 107.
Oh my gosh. That's such oppressive heat. Wow. Wow. Well, stay safe, Connie. I know that you do, but that's oppressive. Wow. And we thought it was when we were in Florida, we thought it was pretty hot where we were, everywhere we went when we were outside, but it wasn't hot like that. That's quite
Yeah,
oppressive.
and if it's funny when you live in a place that's on the coast, because you could be 2 miles away from the coast and it could be 95 degrees, but when you get over to the ocean, it could be, like 87 degrees. Real nice. Ocean breeze is always coming off of there. So
I
it
love a
felt
good ocean
very
breeze.
comfortable, very, very comfortable. We had a beachfront place we stayed at, uh, and nice view of the
In
ocean.
both
So it was
places where
nice.
we spent overnight, we could
Yeah,
see the ocean from our room.
yeah, walking distance. You could walk
Yes.
right to the ocean.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. And could see it. And
yes.
in
So that
both
was nice.
places, I didn't say this earlier, but in both places, for those of you who don't know, I write. So everywhere I go, I'm always gaining writing material. And so there were many situations that we came up on where my imagination went wild. And no, I didn't have double standards about how people looked in their bathing suits or anything like that. I loved that everyone was comfortable enough in their skin to have suits on. So I thought that was great. But I was making up stories. Like there was one woman at the first hotel we stayed in who her husband was sitting like there was a porch in front of each room, and he was sitting outside, and she came from the pool over to him, and as she passed us, she said it only took one day for him to be mad at me, and she had accidentally locked him out of the room because she lost both keys. Or locked the keys inside of the room, both keys inside of the room. So he was upset. And so, of course, she went to the front desk and just had them to open the door, which, in my head was like, well, why didn't he do that? So I had in my head that it became a murder mystery, and that he ends up, like, that maybe she didn't come back to help him and he ends up dead. And who did it? Was she the suspect? No, she wasn't in my head. So if you ever see a story like that, that's where I got it from. So I was having a great time as a writer too, with all the little situations that we came upon. So does anyone else have anything they want to share tonight?
Well,
Well,
me.
uh-oh. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Jill. So yes, we did go on vacation, and we kind of ate whatever we wanted to eat.
We did, but we didn't go
Um,
crazy with it
and
either.
we're not like over indulgers. We I still didn't eat much, but I ate whatever.
Right. But we also had more
Um,
fruit and I drink more water. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that was nice to just to be able. I will like if I was at home, I would say, oh, I'm not gonna eat that. I'm not gonna eat that. But that we were away, yeah, I ate some things that I had reframed from. But I still didn't get a cup of ice cream.
Yeah. Neither
Still
one of us got
didn't.
ice cream the whole time.
But overall, the vacation was good, much needed. And who knows if we dare ourselves to get on a scale again, we might find out that we've lost weight. Maybe,
Who knows? The scale doesn't work tonight,
maybe,
so I have no idea. I don't know. Who
maybe.
knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Because I was a lot more active than I normally am,
yes,
which is good.
that is true. That is true. All right. Well, you're almost at the top of the hour, so I will be quiet and do my technical things that a producer does.
Well, thank you for being my producer, my dear husband.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, let me get to the goal for the week.
I can do it. I can do it. If I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
I can do it, y'all. I can do it. So my goal last time was to just get my act together. And the last time I did this show was 2 weeks ago, and that's the schedule of this show from now on, every other week. And I was engaging in self-care because the reason I decided to do the show every other week is because it was becoming too much for me to do every week when it's combined with all the other things I'm obligated to do, and can't take off my to-do list. So I did a great job with self-care last time because not only did I make that announcement that the show is going to be every other week, but we went on vacation and I really enjoyed myself. Work was not in my head at all. And I think we had a great enough vacation that now I need a vacation from my vacation to relax and sleep. And although I got really good sleep while we were away, but last night it was just like, like getting up today to work was a struggle because I was still on vacation mode, and I was like, during my work day today, I was like, do I remember how to do this? How do I do this? And of course, I had a gazillion emails to sort through to see what all I needed to do. So my new goal for the week, now that I've taken some time for myself, I want to continue the self-care, but now I'm adding on to it. I'm going back to a goal I previously had, which is to make sure that I get a good night's sleep every single night, because getting it these 5 days that we were on vacation was magnificent. And there's no reason why I can't do that every day. I just decided. So I'm going back to it was probably the very first goal I had for this show, which was to get my sleep act together. So that's my new goal. All right. So next week, I'm sorry, in 2 weeks, not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, which is, I'm looking at my handy dandy board to tell me, is the 23rd. No, is that right? That is not right. I don't know. I don't know the date. What is today? Today is the 16th.
Your next show
Is the 30th.
is on the 29th, I think.
A Wednesday? Isn't today the 16th? Who knows what day it is? I don't know what day it is. I know it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, the 30th. You're
Okay,
correct.
so on August 30th,
I was thinking of one of my shows.
see, that's when we got too many shows. Because I see a whole, in the corner of the room, there's our whole list of episode titles, but there are too many on there for me to know which one was which. Okay, so on the 30th, I am back with, what's my show about? Perfection, which doesn't exist, right? The myth of perfection. That's what we're going to talk about the next time I'm back with this show. But in about an hour, or in a little less than an hour, Tony and I are doing I'm Right, and we're talking about what's the point of a relationship anyway?
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the
And
point?
actually, I would love it if Faraz and Emily came to that show. We would love to see you there, and we can discuss this. What's the point?
So we'll get into that. And I'm right. The music you're listening to is called Suns Out International by Cadet Production. And the music that you heard during the segments is called Real Cool Sunglasses by That Corbeat. I lost my sunglasses on vacation too. That reminded me. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks everybody for showing up. I'll see you in 2 weeks or tonight, whichever. Bye.